Welcome back. Today we're talking about a new book called Today Was Not the Same. It addresses the killing of George Floyd and how parents and children can discuss and heal from the tragedy. Author Jatrean Sanders is here to tell us all about it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So you're from Mobile originally.
I am. Born and raised.
Born and raised in Mobile, live in Atlanta now. So we're so happy to have you back here.
Thank you.
To tell us about this book. Tell us a little bit about what struck you about the police neon neck murder of George Floyd that made you believe it was imperative to write a book to help children and parents discuss this murder and maybe heal some from it.
Well, all of us were sitting at home during the pandemic in May of 2020, and we were watching, and we were all captivated. And I think that for me, seeing the former officer, Derek Chauvin, kneeling on George Floyd's neck and then actually taking his hands out and putting them in his pocket, and just the pressure that he had all of his weight on him, just said, you know what? This is beyond. This is something that is completely excessive, and this is something that I think that we need to address. And for years, I've always written. That's been a way for me to express myself through journaling, and that's how it started. I just sat down and started to write, and I said, there's got to be a way for parents to have this conversation with their children without scaring them, and at the end making them feel hopeful and empowered, and to also make them realize that being Black is beautiful. It's nothing for us to be afraid about.
So you kind of addressed this a little bit there, but you're addressing this through poetry. Has poetry always been your avenue for discussing and attacking things like this?
It has. It's been an outlet, and I'm grateful that my mother had enough foresight to, when we were younger, to give us those little black and white composition notebooks, and I used that to journal in. And so when I started writing this, it was just another journal entry through poetry. But I also thought that poetry is a very beautiful way to express something that is very heavy, and the weight of the topic is heavy. And so I was hoping that it would kind of ease the conversation for children, especially with the rhythmic patterns and the illustrations. And so that was my vision as I was writing it.
So when children read this and go through it with their parents, do you expect them to have some sort of healing? What do you hope that they take away after they complete and finish your book?
There are a couple of things. I think the first is the conversation. I think it's so imperative for parents to be able to read this book with their children so that they can answer questions. And yes, absolutely, the hope, the aspect of saying, there's hopeful change. And the book, the very last page, she ends up saying that she's going to bed, she's not afraid, and she's saying, I'm hoping that tomorrow will bring change. I'm believing that tomorrow will bring change. And my hope is for all of us as Americans. I truly believe all of us are hoping for change. When we talk about racial tension and we're talking about what's been happening in our communities, I truly believe that all of us are hoping for change.
There was such a national discourse about everything that took place surrounding George Floyd and the murder in the Minneapolis area. But I think it's just fantastic that you're doing this approach with the target of talking to children and helping them through this, because you don't hear a lot about this in the light of what took place. So here is the book, Today Was Not the Same. For the folks at home who are watching this, how can they go about getting a copy of the book and hopefully sharing it with their children?
Excellent. So my book is on my website, todaywasnotthesame.com, but it's also available on Amazon. So if you go onto my website, you're able to get a personalized copy. I will write in it, sign it. You also have a little section if you want to have it personalized to a loved one or a friend. And also on Amazon, you can't beat Amazon. It'll be here in 2 days. And then also, I'm also going to be doing a book reading this afternoon at 2 p.m. virtually, and I'm also going to be doing one again at 7 p.m. and you can go to my website, todaywasnotthesame.com, and that information is available.
All right, today at 2 and 7 o'clock, we're going to repost that information on the Studio 10 tab at fox10tv.com so you can check it out. Such a heavy topic, but hopefully this is a guidance and a way to help have that conversation with children and help all of us through such a difficult thing.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Again, all the information will be online.